The sun has finally come out, I'm glad to say, after driving through the rain that far. And I can tell you that it is 2 hours and 3 minutes, according to our GPS, between Baroque and Pepin, Wisconsin. And it should be roughly 94 miles. So we've got some driving to do. We've just passed the Minnesota border. It really isn't very far north of Baroque at all. Over here to the right is the remains of what used to be a hotel that many Laura fans used to stay at, but it's in bad shape. Heading now into territory that is Amish. Now I'm not going to stop and do any of the Amish things, partly because, as I mentioned, I'm running late as usual. There's always so many temptations to stop, and partially because there's a lot of Amish stuff around my house, so I've done about all the Amish things there are to do. But be aware that as you get into this area, you may see horses and buggies. Be careful when you're driving by them. Don't pass too fast, especially if you're driving at night. Watch out for them because they're kind of hard to see. And remember that part of the Amish religion is that they don't like to be photographed. So please respect that. It's the Laura thing to do. On Lake Pepin, which is a widening of the Mississippi River, but we still have about half an hour before we're going to reach the town of Pepin. Lake Pepin and the Mississippi. Sometimes you come in the night before an event and there's already some of the smaller things going on for sort of a soft opening. That really isn't the case at the Pepin Laura days. You'll see people setting stuff up for tomorrow, and other than that, things just kind of shut down at the normal time. There are some things going on that would be extra, more for the people who are down here from the weekend for the Twin Cities and Laura people, like music at the bars down by the waterfront, but generally it's just sort of people setting stuff up on Friday night. Normally when I come to a Laura town, I try to stay different places. Here in Pepin, I pretty much stay here at the Pepin Motel because it is right in the heart of the action of Laura Days, which is about the only time I come. Right there, from their parking lot, is the main stage where I do my presentation, and then the Laura Ingalls Wilder Park, where a lot of the events take place. On the other direction is the Buckskinners camp, and about 2 blocks down that way is the museum. And there at the Homemade Cafe, they do not only serve a very good breakfast, They have the best iced tea I have found in Pepin. At least that was true last year, and I assume it still is. And to get in, stay at the Pepin Motel during Laura Days, especially Saturday night, you have to sort of get on a waiting list and take the most expensive room first, and then kind of work your way into the main grouping. So I didn't actually, now that I've gotten worked in, I don't want to stay someplace else and get my name off the list, because it's just so handy when I'm presenting right there to be able to have my car right here. So I can't tell you a lot about the other places to stay, though there are other places. There's another motel right across from the Laura Museum, and there's also lots of bed and breakfast. And someday I'm going to come back when it isn't Laura Days and stay in one of the bed and breakfasts. Privately owned and managed motel. So the owners don't live on site, but their managers do. There's just the one floor, the two hallways. The two nicest rooms are at the end of this hall, which both have a whirlpool tub. There's also a handicap accessible room. The doors take an actual key, and they don't automatically lock, so you just have to put your key in to lock, or you just have to put your key in to lock or unlock. So those of you who are used to swipe cards, that isn't what they have here. They also don't have a refrigerator, though that's getting to be pretty standard in a lot of hotels. So, as we used to do in the old days, fill up the ice bucket and put anything you want to keep coldish in there. This is my room. And it's a fairly pretty place. This is, about the fifth different room I've stayed in, so this is pretty typical. They do not offer a continental breakfast, which people are also kind of used to, so you may want to go across the street to that little restaurant I showed you. I should also mention that there is a door on each side of the building. You can use those during the day if you want to, but after 10 o'clock the front door is locked and you have to go into one of the side doors. My friend Linda always stays at this bed and breakfast, the Harbor Hill Inn. One of the advantages of Pepin's location as a weekend getaway destination for people in Twin Cities is its fantastic little artist colony. Another are the absolutely wonderful restaurants. There's so many of them, it's hard to pick, but tonight we're going to be eating at the outside restaurant, the Garden Pub, and it looks like it must be doing well because this whole area is new. There's also a small antique shop and ice cream shop on the other side that are owned by the same people and connected. And this is the end of day one of the Laura Pepin trip 2012. I'm in my hotel room for the night. It's dark outside now, and other than that, I think we're all getting excited about tomorrow. It's going to be the big day of Laura Days, and we'll be really busy, so get a good night's sleep because you'll need it.